What do you share on social media? Today on the Dailyest Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Let me try that again. What do you share on social media? I think I said social, whatever. All right. Anyway, no one's not like a lot of people watch this show anyway. So anyway, it's not, you can call me out on it if you were going to. Anyway, what do you share on social media on the seashore? So no, what do you share on social media? And that's really what the topic is going to be about today. What really spawned this, I've actually been thinking about this for a while, but I really didn't get into the topic of it too much, only because there was a lot of angst around what people were sharing on social media related to COVID. And I always thought it was a little bizarre. Hey, Kathleen, Paul, it's good to see you in my family in Vegas. Good to see you. But I always thought it was a little strange that people were sharing if they got immunized, if they didn't get immunized, if they had COVID, if they didn't have COVID, things like that. But I don't want to make the discussion about COVID. I think we all had enough of that. But it started about a conversation that I was thinking about, it was a YouTube video that I was watching about a guy who stacks silver. And I don't really get into precious metals all that much. I just kind of followed it just because it's on a tear right now. If you haven't watched, like, gold is pretty much at like an all-time high. Silver, rhodium's at an all-time high. There's things like that. And some of my coaching clients, they invest in those things. So I was just watching to see what those were doing. And rhodium is like $20,000 an ounce right now, which, again, if you know anything about that, don't worry about it. It's not the point. But the guy was making a point about what he was sharing online about, how he stacks his gold, how he stacks his silver. And and one of the best things that I thought that he said, like, his videos, this particular guy's videos, and I've seen a couple of them. He's got different strategies on different things to buy, whether you buy coins or bullion, blah blah blah. And I just thought it was interesting. So I was watching it, and you've never seen the guy's face. You've only heard his voice, and you might see his hands doing one of these magical things, like on the actual screen. But you never actually see his voice, and I think he only just says his first name. So really, unless you knew his voice and you tend to know who this guy was, that you would even know that this guy actually invests in silver. So the interesting thing that I thought about this was, how many other pieces of your lives or of your lives are you sharing? Now, again, in my space, in the coaching world, it's really common, and I know why they're doing it, because they're trying to add to social proof. But the thing that's really interesting, I can't seem to get this mic right today. What's really interesting is the folks who are talking about the zillions of dollars that they have in real estate holdings or whatever else it is. They own, thousands and thousands of rentals. They have this many doors under, assets under management, everything else. I wonder why, like, why do you want to draw that kind of attention to yourself? Why do you want to draw that giant bullseye on yourself? And you don't, if you're in that space, if you're in the real estate investing space, you don't have to look very hard to see who those people are, because they are generally, they're like the loudest guy at the frat party. They're trying to get all sorts of attention, and I get it. Um, but I don't know that I understand it. And maybe, and it kind of goes back to something Tony Robbins taught concerning the six human needs. The six human needs, of course, being significance, significance, certainty, variety, love and connection, growth and contribution. So because significance is so important to people, importance, that need to feel important, um, significance sells, and it's easy to sell. So if it says, hey, I've got these, $50 million worth of real estate, holdings, you should listen to me, yada, yada. So I get it, but I don't understand the risk that they're putting themselves in. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't, I don't necessarily have a enviable lifestyle, I suppose, with the exception that I can control my calendar to a very large degree. But I'm also very careful about the stuff that I, like publicly that I share about what I own. First of all, I think it's just not appropriate. Like, why does it matter? If my information is good, then that let that stand on its own. Um, because a lot of people I know who are saying that they've got these, you know, the best method to do whatever else it is. That if it wasn't for their coaching program, I don't know that they'd actually have enough money to do the real estate things that they're doing. So it's just really interesting. But anyway, so I guess the whole basis behind this video today is, be careful what you're putting out there, and also don't be careful about some of the other stuff. I mean, it's okay. Like if you're an influencer, just as an example, and I'm going to stop short of saying that I am. I'm not, nor do I try to be. I just do this show really just more to, just for fun more than anything else. I try not to take myself that seriously. But the thing is that, you know, I'm really shocked at the number of people who are really scared of the things they are afraid to share that I think are worthy of sharing, like your faith, for example. Why wouldn't you share that? Right? Why wouldn't you share those views with people, which I think is, pretty cool. But and I'll be in that same boat for a while. Like there was stuff I wouldn't share because I thought it was, just I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be labeled as that guy, that sort of thing. But it's just really interesting the things that I would share in the early days and the things that I wouldn't share in the early days and the things that I wouldn't share now and the things that I will share now. I'm not afraid to say that, in order of importance, it's my God, my gal, my sons, and my guns, right? I mean, that's kind of the way it goes for me. And that's my vision. And those are the bullet points in terms of the things that are important to me. And my wife probably has a very similar vision, for her in her life. So yeah, so I'm just really interested in the people of the things that people share. And if they share the things in their vision, they share the things in their business. We know what all the things that they're trying to accomplish and their accomplishments, their achievements, but there are so of also some of the things that they are afraid to share because it's not socially acceptable. So anyway, just interesting. So what do you share on social media? Just feel free to leave me in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are. But that is all I have for today, folks. I hope you are set up yourself up with a nice weekend. It is freezing cold here. Please think spring, at least here in Indiana. We had snow today. I'll admit it was pretty, but I'm ready for spring. So, all right, everybody, please place a value on your free time because if you don't, someone else will. Most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have an awesome day. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
5, 4.
Wrong one. Let's try this one.